election come, put your eggs by the rising sun. Because I win for UNC. It's a win for TNT. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can restore hope, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who lead with love, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream.
Everybody! When UNC win, everybody wins. Everybody's a winner. When UNC win, Trinbago wins. Vote for UNC. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Put your ex next to the rising sun. Tell the neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, it's time to design. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. past 10 years, you know we hold the faith. Now the whole place turning at the proper state. It's only a ship under the ball is here. Now the UNC come here to save the day. Boom. So remember when election come, put your eggs by the rising sun. Because I win for UNC. Everybody, it's a win for TNT. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, the Chinbagger wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, the Chinbagger wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody! When UNC win, everybody wins. Everybody's a winner. When UNC win, Chinbagger wins. Vote for UNC. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Put your X next to the rising sun. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, it's time to design. If you want leaders who can build, place your X by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can live properly, place your X by the rising sun. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, Chinbagger wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. For the past 10 years, you know we hold the faith. Now the whole place turning at the proper state. It's only a ship under the ball is here. Now the UNC come here to save the day. Boom. So remember when election come, put your eggs by the rising sun. Because I win for UNC. Everybody, it's a win for TNT. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, the Chinbagger wins.
Good evening, everyone. As the hall continues to fill, we are going to begin in exactly 6.5 minutes. I want to ask those who are outside to come in and fill up the seats so that you can support your candidates. We will begin exactly on time. So all of you who are outside, please come in as we will have the national anthem and prayer shortly.
Everybody! When UNC win, everybody wins. Everybody's a winner. When UNC win, Chinbagger wins. Vote for UNC. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Put your X next to the rising sun. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, it's time to design. If you want leaders who can build, place your X by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can live properly, place your X by the rising sun. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, Chinbagger wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. For the past 10 years, you know we hold the faith. Now the whole place turning at the proper state. It's only a ship under the ball is here. Now the UNC come here to save the day. Boom. So remember when election come, put your eggs by the rising sun. Because I win for UNC. Everybody, it's a win for TNT. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. On election day, Tell the neighbor, tell a friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell the mother, tell your father, it's time to design. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can live properly, place your ex by the rising sun. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. For the past 10 years, you know we hold the faith. Now the whole place turning at the proper state. It's only a ship under the Palisade. Now the UNC come here to save the day. Boom. So remember when election come, put your eggs by the rising sun. Because I win for UNC. Everybody. It's a win for TNT. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace, vote for love, vote for hope, vote for change. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody! When UNC win, everybody wins. Everybody's a winner. When UNC win, Trinbago wins. Vote for UNC. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Put your ex next to the rising sun. Tell the neighbor, tell a friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell the mother, tell your father, it's time to design. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can live properly, place your ex by the rising sun. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. For the past 10 years, you know we hold the faith. Now the whole place turning at the proper state. It's only a ship under the Palisade. Now the UNC come here to save the day. Boom. So remember when election come, put your eggs by the rising sun. Because I win for UNC. Everybody. It's a win for TNT. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team. One hope, one dream. When UNC win, everybody wins. When UNC win, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins.
Good evening, Arima. Good evening, Arima. Let me ask you to get ready for our national anthem and prayer. Those who are outside, come into the hall. We want to ask everyone right where you are to stand for the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago and to remain standing for our prayer. And as our political leader says, we put God in front and we walk behind. And we are walking to victory in this general election 2025. Please stand for the national anthem.
Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare, side by side Here every creed and race find an equal place. And may God bless all nations.
Almighty God, most beneficial and merciful, Creator of the universe and embodiment of divine wisdom and light, we come before you with thanksgiving and praise. May your will be done in our nation as it is in the heavens. Please bless our political leader, party officials, activists, and all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Give us the grace to always see good, be good, and do good, and the courage to serve the people. Protect us as we stand against injustice and iniquity, and inspire our endeavors to find the right solutions to the problems that are affecting our fellow citizens. Grant that we may always work together with humility and respect for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of our country.
Thank you. You may have your seats. Let me hear some noise from Arima, Malabar Mausika, Lopino Aruka, St. Augustine is in the house. My friends, this evening we will be live on radio, TV. We are also live on the UNC Facebook and YouTube channel. And I want the people who listening and the people who watching, I want them to hear all of you here in Arima tonight. My friends, we have the constituencies of Lopino Aruka, Trincity Maloney, Malabar Mausika, Arima, and St. Augustine as the premium speakers tonight. But you will also have some guest speakers whom I know you will be looking forward to. Tonight, we begin with a young woman, a professional, a medical doctor who has specialized as a gynecologist. She is also a business owner, being a part-time or investor in a medical lab and medical clinic. This young woman has spent her life helping people in the medical field. And I always remember when she came for screening, she told the screening committee, I have made a difference in so many people's lives medically, and I want to make a difference in Trinidad and Tobago. And that is why I want to be a candidate for the United National Congress. Since Dr. Natalie Chaitan Maharaj hit the ground in Lopino Aruka, she has been making inroads. She is ready to win. Let me hear you welcome our UNC candidate for Lopino Aruka, Dr. Natalie Chaitan Maharaj.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for...
Good evening, Arima. Aruka Lopino, let me hear you. Good evening, my UNC family. Forgive me, I am not formally attired. I've just finished walking. Good evening to our gracious leader, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, who has given me and humbled me with the opportunity to represent my home of Aruka Lopino. Good evening to NATEX. Good evening to our MPs present. Good evening to my fellow candidates. Good evening to my neighbors. This evening, I would like to bring a strange idea to you. that a doctor can be sick too. I started my walk this evening, and every single one of my campaigners took one look at me at the beginning, and they knew that I wasn't feeling 100. We have been, as MP Amin said, going at 100, hitting the ground every day, twice a day on Saturday, and it's taken a toll even on the best of us. I started my walk before the music even started playing. Once we started gathering, my constituents came out. They came out and they asked if we had jerseys. We gave them the jerseys and they put them on and joined the walk with us. Seeing the support, seeing the ground rising for us, it gives me the strength. And today my constituents healed this doctor. They gave me the strength to continue to cover the ground that we need to do to meet the people and to make the change. They proved to me that on April 28th, every single one of us will vote and put our X next to the rising sun. I'll tell you another story of the walk this evening. I started out and we went into a community that is a residential community. And in the past, I've had people come out and say, well, we're comfortable, meaning that they may not be sure about what they're going to do. But this evening, they came out and they said, you know what? We're sure what we're doing, because they are sure, even in their residential communities that look comfortable, that look stable. Make no mistake, no one is safe with this government. In the last 10 years, how many have lost their jobs? That even this evening when I walked and the people came out, they said, you know what, they're not taking the chance because they're not sure their job will be safe in the next 5 years. They're not sure that they will be comfortable. With the UNC, jobs were created and jobs will be created again. Across this east-west corridor, we already have the plans. We have given you the ballpark idea of an industry hub in the east-west corridor that will give back jobs to those who have lost, that will give jobs to the youth who meet me every time we go out and say they have nothing to do. Even for those who don't want to work in the industries, there will be secondary jobs to support them, for them to do their own entrepreneurship, and the possibilities will be endless. So to that young lady who came out to me this evening who said, you know what, she is sure now, we say thank you. We say move with us for the change. By coincidence, her house was yellow. She said she's done the right color. Yellow is the code and we go. The last person who I met on our walk as it was getting dark, and my team, God bless you all, scrambled to get up here in time. She had a baby in her arms. She had another child, maybe it was about 6 or 7. She is concerned about what we are going to do for them, not just in terms of their future, but in terms of their immediate education now. I bring it to you that for too long we have accepted that the education system, the government education system, that the majority of our children will be put in, doesn't perform as well as religious board schools. And she is concerned because there are no schools close to her, my constituent this evening, to send her kids to, other than the government schools, and she wants better for her kids. I was so happy to be able to tell her about our plans for education. Our plans, simple and effective, but never thought of in the last 10 years, to be able to incentivize teachers in all schools so that you don't have to fear, boy, I'm in this school and the teachers, they don't come. Teachers will be incentivized and teachers will be rewarded for the best results of their children. Parents will be able to have a more positive, a more well-rounded role in their children's education in the schools. My constituent who was concerned about her child's well-being in the school, we will have psychologists, doctors, police efforts in schools so that her child's education will be not only of a better quality no matter the school that she goes to, but it will be well-rounded as well. We will be able to produce the next generation of Trinidad and Tobago that is well-rounded, that has opportunities ahead of them, who will be able to positively contribute to our society. Nothing to me matters more than our children. And nothing to the UNC will matter more than making sure our children have the foundation that they need from primary school, from secondary school, and even opportunities for jobs going forward. I was so happy to be able to answer every single one of my constituents who stopped me this evening, especially the ones who may not have been on board before, but I keep saying they are fed up. They need change. We will bring the change. And I bring it to every single one of you to help me with this movement, to help tell your neighbors, read our mini manifestos. We are not a party who will win this election by saying how poorly the other side does. We will not ask you for the honor of your vote because the other side is worse. We will ask you for the honor of your vote because we show you, as we have done in the past, every time we have been in office, we will show you how we will help you. We bring our honest, hard-working team of my fellow candidates. Mr. Roberts has said how many distinctions, how many degrees between us, how many good, hard-working, problem-solving minds will help you. I thank you all for coming out tonight, and I thank you all for continuing to hit the ground with us. We have 17 days left. You can count the hours, you can count the minutes. We will not stop until we cross the finish line. On election day, what do? We vote for the rising sun. Because say it with me, when the UNC wins, everybody wins. When the UNC wins, every single one of us will win, will prosper, will thrive. I thank you all. From here, our team goes, we continue our work. We are going to our own cottage meeting at Bertie Road. And I'm sure every single one of my candidates will have their own locations as well as we keep spreading this message far and wide of the change, of the help, of the rescue that we want to bring to this nation. Arima, I thank you. Trinidad and Tobago, I thank you for this opportunity to win with the UNC. Good night and God bless.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad wins.
A young, dynamic, professional woman, a medical doctor who will form part of the UNC government when we win on April 28th. She spoke about education, and I want to encourage Trinidad and Tobago, all who are looking on. We have these things called mini-festos. They are mini manifestos. And I want to read a few points in support of what my sister, Dr. Natalie Chaitan Maraj, said from our Strategic National Development Plan. And part of our plan has to do with transforming the education system. Kamla Prasad Bisesa will provide tablets and laptops for all our children. Our UNC government will procure learning materials such as textbooks. We will recruit outstanding retired educators in language and mathematics to continuously improve our students. We speak about technical vocational education. The UNC government, led by Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, will establish a full-fledged technical university to provide the highest level of technical and vocational training. We will integrate TechVoc schools into the secondary school system so that students who are interested very early in technical and vocational education can attend the training in your schools full-time to prepare you for the world of work and to prepare you for employment. We will engage the National Training Agency directly in delivering technical vocational education and create more positions for technical vocational curriculum officers to facilitate that expansion. So when we speak about jobs, when we speak about creating jobs, I want to remind you that the government led by Kamla Persad-Bissessar in 2010 created 50,000 jobs, and we'll do it again. I want to at this time acknowledge our hard-working General Secretary, Mr. Peter Kanhai. Make some noise for him. We have with us Mr. Ravi Ratiram, our Education Officer. Also with us is Mr. Eli Zakur, our Northwest Regional Representative. And for our coalition of interest partners, we have Mr. Bennett Thomas of the East Office of the PEP. Make some noise for our PEP brothers. And of course, the Arima COP Posse IC Acting Chairman Jamie Bahadur, Ms. Metive, former Mayor, Deputy Mayor of Arima. Make some noise for the COP. My friends, the next speaker I have the honor of introducing, because I first met this gentleman many years ago. We were doing a walkabout in St. Augustine constituency, and he was at the home of a relative. And he met us and he told us that he had the honor of working with then Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, and how much he and his colleagues in the protective services miss a Prime Minister like that. And he wanted to get involved. He is now the candidate for Trincity Maloney. He is making inroads in Dabadi, in Red Hill, in Maloney. I want you to make some noise for retired officer Richard Smith as we bring him to the podium.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Good night, everyone. Arima, good night. How we feeling? Yeah? Arima, good night. How we feeling? All right. First, I want to say good night to the political leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Senior Counsel, MP, and the National Executive. My colleagues, MPs, and good night again to the Arima and the Trincity Maloney Executive. It is truly an honor to be here with you on this stage tonight, united in this mission, and most importantly, alongside you, the Arima, and our beautiful country of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Arima, I want to say something. Are you all satisfied with the rate and the state of this country, how it is going? Neither am I. And this year tonight, we'll surely and show them what we mean and where we're coming from. And we mean business. When we come out here on the 20th of April to vote and to vote for change and to make the correct choice. I bring to you greetings from the vibrant but long forgotten and overlooked and neglected constituency of Trinity Maloney, a community bringing in pride, talent, strength, and resilience, but also a community weary of being used and forgotten. Ladies and gentlemen, they neglect, they ignored us, they taken us for granted. They left us behind on the roadside. To do us what? To have us suffering down there? To have us suffering in Arima? To have us suffering in the country? I don't think so. Allow me to speak freely. This time, the time for sugarcoating, it's long gone. It's done. It's done. Trinity Maloney isn't a crime just in headlines. It is harsh and a daily reality in some of our communities. I know like in Arima also, but my friend here will have it under control. Mr. Moses, yes? Gunshots have replaced lullabies. Our young men are being lost, not only in our constituencies, but in the country itself. We are being lost. But hear this. Some of us may see it as a joke when it comes to someone's life being taken. We have to take everything seriously. And with this present government that we have here, we're not taking anything as jokes with them or for them. We mean business, and it's time to put on our foot. And it's time for us to unite and come out and vote. Crime is only the surface. Beneath it lies the real crisis of unemployment, hopelessness, and years of neglect, especially towards our young people of Trinity Maloney and Arima. Each election, they resurface with handouts and hollow promises, offering our young men and women temporary jobs and food cards for a month or two. That can work. That cannot work. And then they only disappear. After they hand it out, they disappear. After they get what they want, and leave us behind. Leave all the youths behind. Well, I will stand here tonight and say enough is enough. Once they have secured what it is they need, they retire and they vanish into thin air. Until you see them next time in elections, they come out to the same madness again. But let me say this, and I'll say this loud and clear. Our people don't want any handouts. They don't want any handouts. They want hope, and they want a future, especially young people of Trinidad and Tobago. But what is baffling me? The next candidate or the next MP on the other side, you only see her when it's time for general elections. You don't see her at all when she's coming out. You don't see her at all when she was hopping in her car. You don't see her at all. She's a ghost. But you only see her for general elections to come and have everybody, how to say it, they're giving them everything that they want. And lies. But I will tell you something. The people of Trinity Maloney, they say MP, it doesn't stand for Member of Parliament for her. It stands for missing person. And we're looking for that missing person right now. For 9.5 years, she has been a ghost in our community, absent, invisible. But suddenly, she wants to come out and give handouts, have walkabouts, take photos with children, and what, clean up campaign, give away with food cards again? I don't think so. My brothers and sisters, let me make this clear, and let me be clear. Trinity Maloney doesn't want any part-time MP who appears only when an election belongs or an election bell ring. We don't want that. We need a leader who walks with us every day and every way, every step. Not just during campaign season, but every single day. And I am here to make that change and to make that difference in Trinity Maloney itself. In parts of our communities, the challenge and the challenges, it has been very hard for the youths. The youths of Trinity Maloney, our constituencies, residents, in parts of the communities, residents get less than 30 hours of water a week, which is terrible. We're in 2025. Water is life for us, yet we are still begging for the basics. Single mothers are stretched beyond their limits. Many can't afford to feed their children, but they are warriors, but even warriors need help. I stand before you tonight, not just as a candidate, but as a voice for Trinity Maloney, for the youths, for the single mothers, for the elderly, for those who have been ignored and taken for granted. It's far too long this has been happening. And while I stand here tonight representing Trinity Maloney, I know the issues we face. There are crime, unemployment, it is crumbling. The infrastructure is gone. The struggles for single mothers and families, it is totally out of the window, it's gone. My brothers and sisters, there's a national problem from Sandy Grande to San Fernando, from Princestown to Point Fortin, from Diego Martin to Mayaro, and from Toko to Moruga. The people have been crying out, and far too long, cries have been ignored. Let us remember the words of Barack Obama: change will not come if we wait for some of the persons for others. We are the ones who have to make the change. The time for the excuses is over. Time for handouts is over. Time for representation is now, my brothers and sisters. Well, the UNC is ready to stand to work with everyone. We are ready to rebuild Trinidad and Tobago. The UNC is ready to lead under the UNC is ready to lead. We are here to offer hard work. Hard work. We are here to rub shoulders with you and make sure you all are safe. So if you are ready to stand with us and for progress and not promises, then join us, ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters. Let us walk this path together. Walk with us towards a future where our young people don't just survive, they succeed. Walk with us to put an end to the era of absent leaders and silent representatives. Walk with us because the voice of Trinity Maloney and this entire nation is rising. At this time, we will not be ignored, not anymore. So I will close you with these words of the great Maya Angelou, who once said, "Nothing will work unless you do." I repeat, nothing will work unless you do. So my brothers and sisters, I thank you. God bless. And remember, when UNC wins, everybody wins. God bless. Thank you.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins.
Make some noise for Richard Smith, Trincity Maloney. My friends, we must not forget what the PNM has done for the country. No salary increases for public servants. We must vote them out. We must not forget that they left 4 divers in a pipeline to die. We must vote them out. We must not forget that food prices skyrocketed under this government. And it's only 2 weeks ago, Stuart Young realized this price of saltfish went up. We must vote them out. This is the government who brought about a foreign exchange crisis. We must vote them out. It is this government that still cannot answer for $3 million missing in the Auditor General's report. Are you ready to vote them out? And the young people in the audience, do you know that the youth unemployment rate is now 14% in Trinidad and Tobago? The United National Congress will create jobs for you. My friends, we must not forget that this man who nobody voted for to make Prime Minister, who was anointed and appointed, is the man who was championing the Dragon gas deal. We must not forget that when the United National Congress raised concerns about the Trinidad government's involvement with Venezuela, he said, "Don't worry, the dragon is alive." And today, the dragon is dead. We must not forgive them for that. We must vote them out. We have a coalition of interests, and tonight I want to welcome the leader of the Congress of the People, Mr. Prakash Ramada, who is with us. And I tell you, the UNC and our partners, we are now start to talk today. The UNC has been ready and on the ground. And a man who has always been on the ground. In fact, for years, people know him as the ground report man. Tonight, he is coming to share with us the perspective from the ground. Let us welcome an outspoken champion of the people, the man they call the Mikey K. Let us make some noise as we welcome Mikey K to bring some greetings.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Good evening, Arima. That's how we do it. And of course, to all our winning candidates, the political leader of the Congress of the People, Prakash Ramada, our members of NATEX, senators, MPs, executive members of Congress of the People, and to all our partners, a pleasant good evening and welcome. You know, my good friend, Khadija Amin just said, and I listened to our good friend, Mr. Smith, and he's correct. And that is the reality. And you ask yourself, when did we sign on for this madness? When did we agree that we were going to be a part of something that just brings us suffering? When did we agree to have a government that has wiped out the middle class? I'm not exaggerating. Wipe out the middle class. You have a man who is now telling us that the Dragon deal is dead, but they have built a stable platform. For whom? For you, who stay up late at night and wonder how you're going to send your children to school? For you, who the bank keeps ringing down your phone, the credit union, the insurance company? Or is it for them, their friends, their family, and their finances? And it's time to put a stop to that. 17 days to go, and it means everything. Don't get yourself involved in conversations that are not productive, that are not going to bring about victory. Forget that. Not every bag that falls off the truck, you need to run behind it. Forget them. Forget the naysayers and the haters. They have their job to do. We have a country to save. Understand that. And we are committed and dedicated. I know that you look and you say, listen, boy, I got to go out there again today. And that's why I always say a special good evening to the support staff for all our candidates. The people who are always filled with excitement and enthusiasm to say we had to go out. Don't forget, we meeting them by the office. The bullhorn man reached. Somebody had to bubble a pot. But we're not giving up every single day, whatever it takes, that when we wake up on April 29th, we must know that our new Prime Minister, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, is there for us. And you know, and when I ask the question, you know the answer. When it comes to the future of our children, who cares? When it comes to saving our babies, those who have died, those that died in the NICU, who you know is going to take care of them? Who cares? When it comes to protecting the rights and security of our citizens, who cares? That's right. And we are going to write that book. I always tell you this story about the lion and the cub. Lion was walking through the forest one day when he decided to get some rest with the cub. And as he laid there, the cub began reading a book called The Lion and the Hunter. And as he read the book, it illustrated that the lion was walking through the forest one day when he was suddenly captured and slaughtered by the hunter. The cub looked at his father and said, Dad, why is it every time I read these books, the lion is the one that's captured and slaughtered? And he looked at his son and he said, it's going to be that way until the lion writes the book. Tonight we write that book. On every chapter, on every page, it will show that on April 28th, we beat them in the east, we beat them in the west, we beat them in the north, we beat them in the south, we beat them. Each chapter will show what history means, and you understand that. I want to read a bit from our manifesto as well when it comes to crime, because many people say, well, I don't hear, I don't know. They know exactly well. And people like that, you just simply walk away from them. There's nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing. But being from the ground, I can tell you, we're seeing a lot of changes in the narratives. People who would call on the law and say, the first thing they tell you is, they're PNM, but they don't recognize this PNM. They said, this is not our PNM. They say they don't know what this is about. A man was hand-selected. They don't know where he came from. He didn't walk through the rank and file. And there it is, he's making key decisions. Now they bring back the bully on the platform. Now, if you're good enough to come and bully on the platform, why you didn't stay there as leader, as Prime Minister? Why you didn't stay? Why you give it up? What you running from? But Kamala Persad-Bissessar, as much as they said about her, she made it quite clear, she does not run. She does not run. She's not afraid. Create the offense of home invasions. Yes, because it's the same home they're asking you to pay taxes for that you're not even safe in. That very same home. People kicking down your door, jumping through your window, and they don't care. Invading your privacy and your rights. And the UNC is saying, listen, that can't happen. Allow for the right to bear arms or modify the current legislation to make acquiring firearms by law-abiding citizens easier. That's right. We shouldn't be sitting ducks. We should not be sitting ducks. Introduce police officers full-time in schools. We need that. We need that. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Create a Ministry of Home Affairs. Create a Ministry of Defense. create a Ministry of Justice, provide diploma, undergraduate, and postgraduate degrees in policing for recruits, combined with a police apprenticeship program. That's right. Many times we see senior officers taking pre-retirement leave, and it's not to come back from their studies and work in the TTPS. It's to set themselves up in the private sector. So all that they learn, they don't come back. They don't teach the juniors. Enough of that nonsense. It has to stop. So these are plans, just some of the plans. Undertake pre-trial detention reform and bail reform. And one of the things that stands out, implement the revamping of the witness protection program. Because if you're telling us, if we see something, say something, we want to say something, but we want to live to say it too. That's very important. So the witness protection program. Arima, your candidate, your UNC candidate is Nigel Moses. And when you vote for Nigel Moses, Arima will win with Nigel Moses. He is committed and he's dedicated. Like all our candidates, committed to the core, called to serve, and they're up here. I just want to say upon closing, we are not going to end until it ends. Don't get complacent. Don't get relaxed. Don't feel that it's a smooth sailing, because this week, from Monday, it's 2 weeks to go, and they're going to throw everything at you. Every single thing. Things that you didn't even know about yourself, they're going to tell you. The most nastiest things. It could be about this one, that one. So prepare yourself, but stay laser focused. According to our political leader, stay laser focused. We suffer for almost 10 years. We could bear the grind and bring it home. 17 more days to go. Because when the UNC wins, and most importantly, who cares? Who cares? Arima family, get ready for victory. Thank you so much. God bless. Keep it going.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins.
That is the man they call him Mikey K. My friends, let me welcome Senator Anil Roberts, the Douglas. And you will be hearing from him later tonight. But I want to add to what my brother Mikey K spoke about. Because the crime crisis that has been created by this PNM government will be treated with intelligence, competence, and purpose by the Kamla Persad-Bissessar government in 2025. The government will also provide diploma, undergraduate, and postgraduate degrees in policing for recruits, combined with a police apprenticeship program, more professional law enforcement. They will undertake pre-trial detention reform and bail reform. They will implement individual risk and financial assessments. We will establish minimum security detention centers. We will implement laws to prevent the incarceration of non-violent drug offenders, such as drug addicts. We will implement properly, not a halfway job like this government, the ankle bracelets and house arrest system with updated legislation. We have been told by law enforcement officers that dog biting off ankle bracelets right now. So we will have those systems updated. We will establish state support for children of incarcerated persons, because our young people who lose their parents to the penal system also need guidance. We will establish a fund for children who have lost one or both parents to crime. That is the love of Kamla Persad-Bissessar. While this government has long lines and bodies piling up and waiting for analysis from our forensic science complex, I want to tell you, a government led by Kamla Persad-Bissessar will construct a forensic science complex and national security training facility at the UE Debe campus. We will ensure the enforcement of drug and liquor laws regarding minors to save our children. We will provide personal licensed firearms to active Trinidad and Tobago Police Service officers and prison officers so that they can protect themselves even when they are off duty. My brothers and sisters, a United National Congress government cares about our law enforcement officers. And tonight, I am reminded that just as the 4 divers were left in the pipeline to die, there is a Coast Guard officer missing since February 20th, Karen Simon. He was involved in a multinational drug eradication operation between Trinidad and Tobago and Grenada. This man is the father of 2 children, 3 years old and 7 years old. We are calling on the government to search and bring home Coast Guard officer Karen Simon and to put systems in place to protect all our officers from all the services while they are on duty. At Trinidad and Tobago, led by Kamla Persad-Bissessar, will ensure that our officers are safe, protected, and well represented. My brothers and sisters, at this time, I have the honor of introducing the man I will vote for. He has been a senator. Wait now, let me finish introduce him. Are they making so much noise for all the candidates? He is a young, dynamic professional. He is a businessman who has seen the need to stand up for Trinidad and Tobago. He has offered himself to serve, not today. He has served as a senator with the UNC on numerous occasions. He is now the candidate for Malabar Mausika. Let us welcome young, dynamic, energetic businessman Dominic Smith, your candidate for Malabar Mausika. Make some noise as we welcome him to the stage at this time.
Arima family, let me hear you. Twin City, let me hear you. Lopido, where are you? And my brothers and sisters in my home, Malabar Mausika, let me hear you. All protocols observed tonight. We have a massive crowd here. I want to thank every single person for taking the time to come out here and support the United National Congress and its coalition of partners. All those people on the outside hearing our voice, they are here because of one thing. When the UNC wins, everybody wins. It would be remiss of me if I don't thank a couple important people here. I want to welcome my brothers and sisters in arms, the MPs, the candidates that are representing the Arima area and the East-West Corridor. Let's give a round of applause for our candidates. I want to thank the leader of the United National Congress, a woman that I love and respect, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Senior Counsel. I want to thank all the staff, as my brother said, that is behind the scenes, working hard in every single camp, for every single candidate. All the constituency members, stand up, give yourself a round of applause. Comrades, let's be real. We're not here for joke. We're not here for old talk. We're not here for mama guy. Tonight in Arima, we are asking everyone. This is a call to action. Because let me tell you something. They think these seats are guaranteed. The People's National Movement think that Arima is going red. But let me tell you something, with all the yellow and blue I am seeing here, the UNC will make a sweeping victory. You know, there's a quote by a lady, Gertrude Stein, and it says, "One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. The sun also riseth, and goeth down again, and hasteth to the place where it arose. And I tell you, come April 28th, the United National Congress and its coalition of partners, that sun will rise again, and it will start in Arima, and it will go all throughout the corridors. You know why? This is a war. We are at war. And I'm telling you today, when we are at war, who do we need? We need our soldiers. We need our soldiers in the battle. Brothers and sisters, the PNM wants you to forget. They want you to reverse time. They want you to erase the pain and hardship that you have faced over the last 10 years. 10 years, little brothers. That is a decade. You know what you could do in 10 years? Can you remember when your children were born and how long it took for them to get to 10 years old? 10 years this country has been under oppression. But the PNM's mantra is all in. Well, I was surprised when I saw all in, because I say that had to be all in on what? Chaos? All in on what? Poverty? All in on what? Suffering? All in on what? Poor infrastructure? All in on what? Crime? If that is what all in is about, I am all out. Let me hear you. But how can we forget Arima? How can we forget comrades when we have mothers who are weeping every day in the streets for the children? How can we forget the last 10 years when families are in darkness because they cannot afford to pay the electricity bill? How can we forget? How can we sit here in our chairs, in our pews, and in our homes and forget what these people have done to you and your family? They want you to pretend that that didn't exist, that you dreamed that. But I tell you here tonight, in Arima North Secondary School and in all parts of Malabar Mausika, when I tell you about Subero Street, when I tell you about Mahogany Drive, when I tell you about Tumpuna, we will not forget. And on April 28th, you will remember that was the day of liberation. I tell you, change is coming. And change is coming because we have a leadership that is visionary. We have a team of educated professionals. And most importantly, we have a team of people that are working for you. We're not here to work for ourselves, you know. Because the role of government is to service who? You tell me. Arima, you tell me. The people. The role of government is to serve the people. And when you are not serving the people, then you are not in government. I tell you, we have an illegitimate government in Trinidad and Tobago. It's have a fellow by the call of Dominic in Arima. All of them. Not me, though. Not me, though. I tell you, I going back and forth in all of the constituencies. If you see a boy, I put on my cap and I'm ready for them. And I start to walk. And as I start to walk, I say, yes, it could be pressure in Arima. But you know what? I'm walking on. Well, I going through and fro. the streets and the valleys down in train line all over the place. I didn't see one t-shirt red. But you know what I heard when I went by a lady gate? She dancing. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. And that, my friends, is the love that the people of Malabar Mausaka, formerly Dabidi O'Meara, has shown this fella across here. So when I tell you change is coming, when I tell you we are at war, when I tell you that people are standing up for what is right in our country, I am telling you it is starting here in Arima and it will sweep the whole of the East-West corridor. I am telling you that it will happen in Tunapuna. I am telling you that it will happen in St. Joseph. Our partner, Salam Hussein, gonna jam them down in Sawa. I'm telling you in Sando West, Dr. Dalwat gonna give it to them. I'm telling you down in Toko Sando Grande, our brother Wayne Stewart will take it. I'm telling you in every single marginal, it will be like the rain coming. Because when the tide raises, when Kamala Prasad Bisesa and this UNC coalition rises, all boats will rise in our harbors. They say it takes only one swell in a harbor raises all the boats. But let me tell you something. Them fellas on in PNM, they don't have boat and thing, you know. They have yacht. It's yacht they have in the harbor. But let me tell them something. It's the people with the boats that is feed this nation. And it's the people in the boats and all across those fishing communities. They are the ones who have the power. And they will make the tide rise. And with that rise, we will all rise. Because when the UNC wins, everybody wins. I could say so much. Well, they probably said, who is this madman in front here? Where does young fella come from with all this energy? The people have been giving me the energy to continue this battle. The support and dedication of the activists who have come out with me on my walks, they are giving me the energy. My support staff in my Malabar, Mausaka, O'Meara Road office, they are giving me the energy. And most importantly, the constituents of Arima across the board, they are the ones that are giving me the energy. And that is what we need. That is what we need. But I want to tell you something. My political leader, in her vision, she said to us, be focused, be diligent. Now is not the time to rest. Today marks how many days? 17 more days, minus 3 days for auspicious occasions. That means on Monday, the 14th, we are down to how much days? 14 more days, minus the 28th, which is election day, 13 days. Now, I am not a mathematician. I do a little maths there. But I am telling you, we have no time to let go of the momentum that we have been showing throughout Trinidad and Tobago. I want to tell you something in Arima. I don't mind if you pause, but don't stop. I don't mind if you slow down, but you put one foot in front of the other. I don't mind if you complain and you say, Dominic, giving me problems. I will be in your face every single day, in every single PD, in every single nook, and as they call it, the cranny as well, in Arima, in Malabar Mausaka. And when you see me there, and when I greet you, I want you to say hello. And when you say hello, you better greet me with some yellow. I mean, this campaign has been one of excitement. They say them young children, them young fellas, they don't get involved in politics. What they gonna say now? They say our leadership doesn't encourage the meshing of experience and youth. I want you to look at the slate that was provided by the United National Congress. What they're gonna say? What they going to say now? But they have been talking. But as the old people used to say, what they used to say? Well, you don't know what they used to say? Huh? Right. What they used to say? They used to say old talk. Right? Old talk and no action. That is what the PNM has been about for the last 10 years. But with a UNC government, we are action-oriented. Not only are we action-oriented, we have plans for you. And if you want to wax biblical, you know when the Lord said, I have plans for you? Those are good plans. We have plans in education. We have plans to reduce unemployment. We have plans to uplift our youth. We have plans to bring health care to community centers. We have plans to bring crime down in communities. We have plans for you. So when they tell you they have no plans, they disorganize, I want you to look at yourself right now. I want you to look at yourself right now and let them know we are ready for them. Because when the UNC wins, tell me, everybody wins. And let me tell you something. Our leader, have you ever heard of The Art of War? By Sun Tzu? I think that's the pronunciation. You know what that book says? A leader leads by example and not by force. So when that bully down in Port of Spain want to lead by force, we tell him, no, brother. That is not how we lead up here. We lead by what? Example. So when they come with the rhetoric over the last 10 years and they're bold-faced enough to come and meet you by your door, what is the example, boss? What have you done, boss? Take them in Arima. Say, come, brother, come. Let me talk to you. Come down to this community center. You seeing it? How it looking? Well maintained? No, brother man. Take them down to the park where they don't take the infrastructure and the lights are gone and people are asking for support. Simple things. Take them down to the rivers that clog in. Take them down to the parks that are overgrown. Take them down to the places where your families and your friends are supposed to be communing in what? Communities. Trinidad is a tapestry of communities. And this PNM government have neglected our communities. They have neglected our youth. I walking down Mahogany, and them fellas come out to greet me. A young boy, he come out. I said, boss, how old are you? He said, I'm 18. I said, well, I'm your candidate for the area. My name is Dominic Alexander Smith. I want to ask you for your vote. Do I have your support? You know what the fella tell me? He said, boss, I want to work. I can't find a job. So, this thing that we call politics is a serious thing. It had to come from, excuse me, right? It had to come from one place. Here. The last time I get on so was when my mother cut my tail good and proper, all right? So forgive me. I'm running out of time. But you are not running out of time. You have your future ahead of you. Trinidad and Tobago can be a place of prosperity. It can be a place of good living. It can be a place where your children can depend on a future. It can be a place where you own a business and you don't have to be fearful. It can be a place with so much promise. And so come April 28th, Don't study that red fella who got emotional on stage in Arima. I want you to consider yourself. Because this election is not about me. It's not about Dominic Smith. It is not about Kamala Prasad Bissessa. It is not about any candidate under the sun. It is about you. I had plenty to say. They have 38 seconds on me here before they pull me off the stage. But I want to say this to you. I want to say this to the young people of Arima. I want to say this to the young people in Lopino. I want to say this to the young people in Twin City, Maloney. I want to say this to my brothers, my comrades in this war in Malabar, Mausika. This election is for you. Don't be left. Don't be left in the sidelines for another 5 years. Don't let them take away this vote from you. Come out in your numbers. Give them the highest voter turnout they have ever seen in Trinidad and Tobago. I want when we beat them, they know that they get beat good and proper. I want when we lick them up this time, they know the people are the ones who said no. It must be convincing because we are about good governance. And the United National Congress and its coalition of partners are about good governance. And we have the people, and we have the plans, and we have the leader. So come April 28th, come out in your numbers, come out and vote. Don't vote for me, vote for you. Vote for United National Congress, because when the UNC wins, everybody wins.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins.
That is our vibrant and energetic candidate for Malabar Mausika, the man who will bring home the seat. Give it up for Dominic Smith. And I want to tell you all something. The UNC has been talking about our plans and policies to make Trinidad and Tobago a better place. The PNM has been getting more and more desperate because they know they will lose the next general election. Tonight, earlier tonight, I told you we are live on our UNC Facebook page and we are live on the UNC YouTube channel. Just now while Dominic was speaking, I went online to take a little peep. There are 1,300 people looking at the PNM meeting. Look. You know how many people looking on live right now at this UNC meeting? 4,700 people. And that is only on the YouTube channel. We also have viewers on our Facebook page because they know that the UNC is going to win the next general election. My brothers and sisters, we will win with our good plans to improve Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to share with you, we talk so much about crime and crime fighting, but we must also remember the victims of crime. When justice is delayed, justice is denied. In our manifesto on criminal and the civil justice system, the UNC will fix it. The UNC will create a ministry of justice. The UNC will undertake a comprehensive review of all criminal laws to weed out the obsolete laws that are oppressive to a free democratic society and causing unnecessary bureaucracy. Men like Mr. Prakash Ramada can tell you about that. The UNC will provide the needed resources to make sure that court cases involving offenses against children and sexual offenses are determined rapidly to bring justice to our victims. At present, you have situations where the courtrooms are sometimes not functional. They are just not enough. our government will increase the number of functional courtrooms. Right now, there is a deficit. Every judge of the High Court must have a designated courtroom to ensure that he or she can sit every day and determine cases and bring justice rapidly. That is what a UNC government will do. So we will provide more courtrooms in the highly populated areas outside of the capital. So everything does not have to be in Port of Spain. We will have courtrooms in Chaguanas, in Rio Claro, in Sandy Grande, in Diego Martin, bringing justice closer to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We will create smaller detention centers around the country. And you know what that will do? That will break up the gang activity and the gang recruitment that takes place in the prison and make sure that you are closer for family support to prisoners by enabling regular visitation, and particularly for prisoners who have children so that they can still be involved in their children's lives. The UNC government will modernize prisons and break up the large prisons into smaller ones where the inmates can be better monitored, and you will not have the kind of chaos that continues under this PNM government. We will implement appropriate social programs involving training and life skills to prevent prisoners from having to go back in that revolving door, so that when they go into prison, there is true reform. So when they come out, they can be integrated into society as whole and better citizens, rather than going back into a cycle of crime. The UNC government will utilize our intelligence services for crime fighting, not for what the PNM doing right now to spy on their political opponents. You know that they're tapping people's phones all now. I show my phone tap. Let them tap, let them listen, let them hear that the UNC is going to win. But the resources of the state for doing these type of activities should not be used for spying on political opponents, but the UNC will utilize it for fighting crime. My brothers and sisters, the next speaker is the man who has been from Blanchisseuse to Lafayette to the Dump Road, all throughout Arima. When the UNC was in government, we built schools, community centers in all those communities along the North Coast, Blanchisseuse, Lafayette. We established the community emergency response units so that when there are emergencies on the North Coast, they don't have to wait for a unit to come from Arima to go up there. The Lafayette Primary School was done under the People's Partnership government. You know where the children for that school are? Because this government refused to complete the school. They are now in the auditorium of the secondary school, and they have been there for the entire term of this PNM government. And now the same member of parliament who has not built and completed the Lafayette Primary School want you to vote for her? You must vote them out. You must vote them out. You know what the UNC also started in Lafayette? The community center. The UNC started that, and you know who shut it down? The PNM. So don't let nobody come and say that the PNM candidate is a nice boy. She's a nice girl. We are voting for nice boy and nice girl. We want performance. We want a UNC government. You cannot tell me that the PNM MP for some of these areas is a nice person when they allow unemployment to continue rampant in their constituency, when they allow sporting facilities like the Arima Velodrome to be neglected. You cannot tell me they are nice people when culture in Arima is totally dwindling, where Arima Borough Day, Arima Carnival, the First People Festivals, all these things that created local economic development that drove local tourism, that was a sense of pride for the people of Arima, have gone down the drain. They cannot be nice people. They are pretending to be nice. They're pretending to be nice to get your vote. And you must vote them out. You must vote for the UNC candidate for Arima, who will come to speak to you now. Let us welcome our brother Nigel Moses to the podium.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for change.
Good night, everyone. I'll start by apologizing for my emotional walking onto the stage, because this ain't no joke. 2025 is no joke. No joke. We need to get rid of the PNM. We need to get rid of them from captain to cook and make sure the United National Congress get into government. So I'd like to say a good evening to our political leader, the Honorable Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa SC, the National Executive, our Northeast representative, my co-candidates, campaign teams. I'd like to say a special welcome to PSA, PP, COP, and OWTU, because this coalition is none other than the most aggressive combination to create a government in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. I'd like to say a pleasant good night to Malabar Mausika, our friends next door. I would like to say a welcome to Lopino Bonnier. I would like to say a welcome to Trin City. And I would like to say a special good night to Arima. Well, tonight I didn't come with any empty promises. I came with action. I came with truth. And I come with a plan for real change and real results. For far too long, we've been ignored. Our communities are neglected. I've heard it in other speeches, so you can understand clearly that we're not lying. It's being repeated, right? Our voices dismissed, our roads forgotten, and our youth abandoned. Now, I'd like to be specific with something. An individual from Santa Rosa told me that, she said, Mr. Moses, I must admit, I love my member of parliament, but from a personal perspective, that is great. That's what she said. She said, but when I'm thinking about the legacy, safety and security of my family, I, myself and my neighbors will have no other choice but to switch, vote for the United National Congress and remove her from government. My Northeast representative spoke about the Lafayette issues we have. We went up on the North Coast. We went from Paria through Montlacroix, Blanchisseuse, Lafayette, and the issue we experienced in Lafayette is exactly what she said. She wasn't making up. You cannot make things up like that. And the constituents up there, it's a bit confusing to me. Looking back historically, the North Coast fluctuates from PNM to UNC, and they roll. It's a real nice dynamic process, all because they are viewing that, okay, let's see where we could get the dollar. I had conversations on both entities in the on the North Coast, and I explained to them, okay, all well and fine, you got $40,000 to vote for the People's National Movement to bring out 100 persons. After paying about $200 per person, let's round it off that you end up with about $20,000, which because of your lifestyle would last you a week. So you are going to enjoy that money for a week and suffer for 4 years and 51 weeks. That makes no sense. They told me they never viewed it in that light, and in my logic, they are now accepting the fact that the North Coast has gone to the United National Congress, and we are going to bring it home and get rid of the People's National Movement for once and for all.
When I came into politics, I have to laugh, because I came from the military. Well, when you're in the military, you can't be politically affiliated and or inclined. I was approached in 2023 by our present coordinator. I spoke to my wife. My wife said, well, you normally help persons, so you'll get the opportunity to use the United National Congress as a conduit to help a lot more. But she said something to me that night. She said, how come you didn't approach the People's National Movement? The Member of Parliament is right around the corner from us. I said, well, they may be there, but when you look at empathy, and you have to make a logical decision when it comes to operational planning in the Defense Force, there's only one individual that has empathy and has the ability to bring the country out of the abyss that we are in. So there's no choice between UNC and PN, and there's no choice, there's none. There's UNC and nothing. So I went on to become the local candidate, the candidate for the local government, and when I saw what was happening out there, I identified that I had no other choice but to stay into politics and try to ensure that I fight for the United National Congress in Arima. So they told me that, but Mose, Arima is a stronghold, you know. Like Penny. I said, all right, nothing wrong with that. I said, but Penny don't have a clue how aggressive I am. And for 3 years, after growing up and knowing that politicians only walk around when it's election time, I walked for 3 years and made sure that Penny shake in her boots. And now she's looking at me, who before I was into politics, I got a lovely smile. Now I know she's looking at me, hoping that I get a heart attack and die. Because at no point in time that anytime you need representation in Arima, you cannot look to the People's National Movement. You have to look to Nigel Moses, the UNC candidate for Arima. I went up to the La Retreat area. Beautiful people. Let me hear La Retreat in the house. Beautiful people. And despite all the murders they went through for 18 months, they held fast and still maintained their pride and still looked forward to supporting each other as neighbors. But it's very painful. I went to houses where the wife, husband, and brother died. I went to houses where the 4 kids were killed. I went to houses left, right, and center, almost 17 murders in 18 months. And what they are telling me is not one day they were visited by the government. So Penny went up in the La Retreat and thought that she had it easy, a normal, smooth walkover. They told her, you were not there when our families were killed. Nigel Moses was there. But more now that the election is here, you are coming to campaign, go for me. I went into the Matarita area. Lovely, lovely people. Matarita in the house. They are telling me that they received chicken neck. Chicken neck as give out when Hampers went to Santa Rosa. They told her, well, MP, chicken necks? Oh God, man. She said, no, it'll taste real good when it's G-rate. So all they have to look forward to is G-rate chicken neck. So the Matarita people are saying, take your bags of G-rate chicken neck and go for me. Arima is a unique place. Very, very unique. We have the Arima Borough Corporation situated in the middle of the Tunapuna-Piako Regional Corporation to the west and the Tunapuna-Piako Regional Corporation to the east. That's strange. That's strange. The Arima Borough Corporation, I'm not speaking statistics, but I'm assuming it's the smallest corporation in Trinidad and Tobago. The Arima has no industrial support. Unlike south of the border, and you have Mearo, Guayari, we don't have industrial support. We don't have the oil and gas and all of that. So we have over 30,000 persons trying to get into the Arima Borough Corporation. You all find that makes sense? Right? These said people are begging and pleading for the lands that they have been living on for over 30 years, some persons over 40, over 50, over 60 years, for certificates of comfort. That unfair? Kamla Prasad Bisesa brought the land for the landless between 2010 and 2015, ensuring that they're trying to work to get the certificate of comfort for these people. PNM came into power and say, you all don't need that. Discontinue that. And now in the last hours, telling persons, submit your birth certificate, because the election here, submit your birth certificate and the relevant documents, and the Land Settlement Agency will sort you out. What I am telling her is, go out from here. Now we have the dump situated in the La Retreat area, right? Now you all will know it as the dump road, but we have made sure that the name has changed to give dignity to the community. So you have the La Retreat road, you have the La Retreat extension connecting to the heights of Guanapo. So we're speaking of the dump on the La Retreat road. Swimcall, who is responsible for ensuring there's no spillage over into the rivers, has not done their job. So now you have signs in the rivers that stating no bathing, no cooking, no drinking, no nothing. But you know, children are reading that signs. All of us are small. So the children are bathing, cooking, drinking, swimming, and the government is doing what? The government is doing what? So you know what they are telling you, or what they are telling us in Arima? We don't care about you, whether it's crime, you could die in the river. We have no concern about you with your interest in wanting land for you and your family, for legacy for your children, but all we want is for you to vote because we're nice people. So what I'm telling them, go off from here. And tonight, I am standing here as your candidate for the United National Congress for the general elections, and I will be here for you, not from now till tomorrow, but I'll be here for you from now till the end of time. And when Nigel Moses wins, Arima wins. Let me hear you. When Nigel Moses wins, who wins? When Nigel Moses wins, who wins? And when UNC wins, everybody wins. Thank you.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace. Vote for love. Vote for hope. Vote for
Come on, Arima. Let me hear you make some noise for Nigel Moses. My friends, Nigel Moses was a UNC candidate in the last local government election. He lost by just a little bit of votes. But you know what? He didn't turn his back on the people of Arima. He stayed and he worked and he served, and he's here to serve you again. And I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge our constituency campaign teams who have been hitting the ground. The Mausika Malabar team. All give them a round of applause. They're in Peytonville, they're in Carapo, they're in Malabar, they're all over. The Arima team, I see in Flora and others here. Make some noise for them. Neville, where Neville? Make some noise for them. You also have the the Maloney team, the Trinity Maloney team, working with our candidate Richard Smith. They are going into areas where before people used to tell we is PNM till are dead, but like the PNM, they are dying out. And more people are coming out to support the United National Congress. I also want to big up a team who has been working tirelessly. Very often they are in the background assisting in neighboring constituencies. And that is the team from St. Augustine. Let me hear St. Augustine in the house. Tonight I see my brother Kurt from the Congress of the People, one of our candidates in our coalition of interest. Give him a round of applause. Kurt, stand up. You're going to win your seat. Kurt Senate, my brothers and sisters. So now we come to a gentleman who many people has looked forward to on a morning. Because when you're having your doubles and your coffee and the Douglas come on, you know he's going to give them beans. This is a man who has stood up fearlessly against the PNM. All that he has said, they can't sue him yet because he has been bringing the truth to you. He has been exposing the PNM lies, and he has been talking to tell you about the plans of the United National Congress. Let us welcome the ever-energetic brother, Senator Anil Roberts.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins.
UNC family, Congress of the People family, PP family, PSA family, SWTU family, Labour family, teachers, workers, good evening. The only way the PNM can win this election is to steal it. The feeling on the ground throughout Trinidad and Tobago, from Point Fortin to Matlock, from Chagaramas to Mayaro, Manzanilla, and all in between, the people are fed up of the PNM. So we have to work even harder. As an Olympic coach, when things are going good, you have to think smarter. You have to make sure every little detail is seen about. You have to make sure your athlete is sleeping, eating, taking their vitamins, being careful, strategizing, not getting too nervous. When things are bad, it's easy to improve. The UNC is heading towards government. Kamla Prasad Bisesa will be the next Prime Minister. We must continue to work for the next 16 days. I want everybody in here to do what Dominic Smith said and understand that the young people of the UNC are bright. Touch your heart, because that's what politics is about. It's all about heart. And the difference between Kamla and Stuart is that Kamla has a heart, and Kamla leads with heart, and Kamla loves her country, and Kamla loves her people, and Kamla loves children. While Stuart, he loves himself and his daddy, and he can do nothing without his daddy. He couldn't stay in school without his daddy. He had to bully boys who made him feel bad about himself. He bullied Imran because Imran was bright. He bullied Imran because Imran studied. He bullied Imran because Imran got in CIC on the 80% and not the 20%. He bullied Imran because Imran merited his place. A bully is a low self-esteem individual. A bully is not proud of who they are. A bully must bring down others
to feel good about themselves. Stuart Richard Young is a palpable bully, a useless individual. And we, the people, must protect all our intelligent, brilliant people from neophyte bullies. This election is about heart. It's about love. It's about care. It's about us thinking about one another. Just because you're not in a labor union, you should feel disrespected when labor is told 0001001. You should feel disrespected because labor is your brother and your sister. This election is about heart. Our country has been turned upside down. Kamla Persad-Bissessar showed love in opposition. She showed love as Prime Minister. She shows love now in opposition on the way to being Prime Minister again. The love is real. The love is true. The very first cabinet note Kamla Persad-Bissessar brought to the cabinet was one to create a children's life fund. Now think about this for a moment. In my opinion, that was the most pertinent, important cabinet note in the history of Trinidad and Tobago from 1962 to now. Why do I say that? Because it was for the first time in our history that the government had a prime minister who said what we all wanted, that a children's life, a child's life, the children's life mean more than ours. We as parents would lay our lives down for our children without thinking. My first wife, when my big daughter was born 27 years ago, and she's going to get married in 2 months, I go cry. When she was born, I saw and I learned the love that a mother has for her children. Because Rebecca was about 2 months, and I was going at 4:30 in the morning to coach. And Charlene had Rebecca, this little thing in her arms, and she tripped and fell. And she fell to the ground, and her knees skated on the asphalt, and her knees were skinned. And I screamed out, "Oh God!" And she looked at me with fear in her eye and said, "She's okay. She's okay." I said, "But I'm not talking about the baby. It's you fall down there." The woman's hand did not flinch. We all know if I fall here now, I will flinch. My instinct will be to protect myself. But when a mother has a baby, that instinct moves from self-preservation to preservation of the child. It's not conscious thought. It's pure heart. It's pure instinct. And that's what Kamla Persad-Bissessar has. But you will never see an editorial that says, "Brilliant, Kamla. Well done, Kamla. The Children's Life Fund saved 153 babies' lives." I repeat, because of the Children's Life Fund, 153 precious little babies were allowed to live. Yet not one newspaper, not one television station, not one major commentator did a column saying, "Kamla Persad-Bissessar, my goodness, what an amazing lady, what an amazing prime minister, what a caring woman." Because our country has gone upside down. The PNM has turned this country upside down. Yesterday, 17,957 children took SEA. They worked hard. The teachers worked hard. The parents put them to study. They focused. They did practice tests. And they wanted to achieve greatness yesterday. But do you know what the PNM has done? The PNM has taken the dream and the drive to be in the 80%. that qualify, that work hard, that merit going to whatever school they choose. They push those aside, the disciplined ones, the hardworking ones, the intelligent ones, the ones who sacrifice, the ones who manage their time. And you know who the PNM celebrates? The ones who have money, the ones who have connection, the ones who could get into school even though they didn't study, the ones who bully, the ones who are dotish, the ones who are lazy. That is PNM. Stuart Richard Young, and I think it's very hard for somebody like me to say, so bear with me. I may stammer a bit. Stuart Richard Young is right now, for the next 16 days, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Stop and think. I'm no fan of Dr. Eric Williams because of his latter years, 12 years, when his boys and them started to tell him, well, money flowing, it could flow so. But at the beginning, one cannot say that Dr. Williams was not intelligent. He went to Oxford, Balliol College. He was one of the 4 smartest men in the world. That is true. He wrote some landmark works, and he was absolutely brilliant. So imagine the PNM has moved from the brilliance of Dr. Williams to a dunce called Stuart Young. No, if you understand what I am saying, a prime minister has awesome power. Power to impact everybody's lives. A prime minister can decide and determine through their policies how you feed your children, how your children participate in extracurricular activities, how your children are, whether they're safe or unsafe on the maxis, on the bus routes, on the byways, how they perform in schools, how they are treated in schools, whether there's discipline or whether they're bullied and battered, how you feel when you let your child leave the house. A prime minister can impact your life on a daily basis. How you sleep, how you wake up, how you eat, how you digest, how you drive to school, your stress levels, your money, how you spend in the grocery, where you go, how you recreate. A prime minister has awesome responsibility and power. How could we give that power to a dunce? Something is wrong with us. I got breaking news on the way here. At 4:45 p.m. today, it was confirmed, breaking news, that the St. Anne's Madhouse has moved to Balize House. It has been confirmed. The Madhouse moved because I was privileged to be on the radio with Dennis Hall, a.k.a. Sprangalang, one of the most brilliant human beings you'll ever meet. No master's degree, no doctorate, no specialty, but just pure genius, cultural Sprangalang, with a memory like no other. Could talk history and calypso and music and politics and social programs, world history, world politics, just like that without a piece of paper. I sat there for 5 years, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I was educated. I got a master's in Sprangalang. And Sprangalang told me one time, he said, Anil, a madman ran out the house and jumped in the car. He tried to start the car, it wouldn't start. He started again, he started to scream. The neighbors come out, he's screaming, the car not working. He shouted at the neighbors, boy, my car, don't know what happened, call the mechanic. One of the neighbors opened the back door and said, brother, go in the front seat now. That is what is taking place at Balize House. How could you take a man like Stuart Young, who was a failure in school compared to the best, and give him the highest position, the most power, the most impactful position? How could you take a man like Stuart Young, not even run him through the rigors of democratic process within the PNM, ignore the Constitution, and gift him the highest position to be sworn in as a prime minister, and you, the taxpayers, your children, will have to pay Stuart Richard Young, a dunce, $90,000 a month for the rest of his life? And he's a young dunce. He's not old. So he's going to get at least $32 to $40 million by the time he's 80 years old, having served less than 6 weeks as prime minister. But did he deserve it? No, he didn't. He was talking last night on the platform saying that if you vote for him, the dance, he is going to protect you and keep you safe. He's going to bring an elite squad of police and do... Dance, you were the Minister of National Security. Hello, Dance. You were the Minister of National Security, and murders reached record level 519 and then 539. Now you come in to Mama Guy, we about keep we safe. We afraid you, Dance. Then you look to the most, Prakash, I'm sorry, boy. I'm sorry to all the attorneys, because I grew up respecting attorneys at law, because I come out the belly of one of the greatest, Patricia Antoinette Roberts, and I was put in that womb by one of the greatest, Al Roberts, and two boys who shared that womb with me. One went Oxford, Harvard, Balliol College, lawyer, next one lawyer. My son is a lawyer, my sister is a lawyer, specializing in marine law, maritime law. So I have a love and respect for lawyers. I used to say, boy, lawyers, discipline, bright. You had to be good. You did respect you. Until I met Camille. And while I'm glad you laugh, it's really not funny. Because she's the Attorney General. And a cabinet consists of a Prime Minister and an Attorney General. You don't need no other minister. There is a cabinet in Trinidad and Tobago when the Prime Minister and the Attorney General are sworn in. So imagine right now on the 17th of March, Trinidad and Tobago swore in a Dance and Dotish, and that's the government. And now they come to you and say, let we go all in with Dance and Dotish. All you cannot be serious. Trinidad and Tobago, we must remove the mad house. Leave it in Balize House. Move it from Whitehall. Move it from the Parliament. Remove it across the board. I have never seen anything like this. We have in the UNC, the other day I was on the stage, privileged to look at the front row. I see specialist gynecologists with, when you see Tim Gopi Singh resume, it tick like a novel. Then I see Dr. Chaitan Maharaj, I see Prakash Day, I see Kamla Prasad Bisesa, I see Economist Smith, I see brain left, right, and center. I say, boy, I had to go and study more, boy, all these bright people. And do you know we competing against Stuart Young? All you don't know about he. Camille, who did not even pass maths. Look, my little daughter, SEA in 1 year, did 2 hours maths today. She can't come and tell me, Daddy, I failed maths. She mightn't get food. But Camille comes and says, I failed maths. In fact, I never even took the exam. And you all swear her in as the Attorney General of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. We had to be mad people. Then you have Colm Imber, A field engineer who built a stadium and fall down. A man who built a thing down in Diego Martin, rain fall, the whole condominium slide down. Who knows nothing about finance as a minister of finance. And you know what he said 2 months ago? Well, I've been minister of finance for 9.5 years. I've spent over $650 billion. I've suffered each and every one of you, everybody from every race, religion, ethnicity, class, culture, gender. I suffer all here together. But you know what? I realized I needed to know something about finance. So I just studied this last 6 months here. I got something. It is not funny. That's a minister of finance whose decisions impact your pocket, your money, your ability to survive. And that's what the PNM puts and then tells you they're all in. And when we show them that we not all in, we all out, they come and say, red is the word. Red is the word. Red is now the new cuss word. So instead of using the normal cuss word, like a full box of matches, here what we gonna say. Red you. Red off. Red day. Red day. Red gone. Red. That's what we have to do. Red is the new cuss word. We don't want to hear red. We don't want to see red. We not voting nothing red. We apologize to Digicel workers. At least 43 people have thrown water, toilet water, sewer water, and run Digicel workers because they came out in their red jersey. Digicel has said that they now send in their workers in yellow jerseys so that you will greet them with love and respect so they could fix up your cable. We have to be vigilant. The PNM is planning to steal the election. The PNM has the EBC under its control. The head of the EBC, Fern Narciscope, is the best friend since St. Augustine girls 30 years ago of Nyan Gadsby Dolly, the current Minister of Education. Fern Narciscope loves the PNM. She goes to PNM functions. She wears red with pride, takes pictures with PNM ministers, and she is in charge of the election. She is in charge of selecting returning officers, presiding officers, controlling ballot boxes, moving ballot boxes, giving ballot paper, creating the list. She is very powerful. We have to be very vigilant because the mass media has allowed the PNM to usurp control of independent institutions from President's House straight down. But this one in 16 days is the EBC. So all of you who know elections, all of you who have walked and worked elections, you need to be all hands on deck, guiding the young ones, telling them what to look for, reporting to the lawyers, making sure that your polling agents stand firm, check ballots, and check and follow every ballot box. A ballot box must not leave the sight of a UNC supporter. Don't trust anybody. It have PNM police, it have PNM agent, it have PNM in the poll, it have PNM returning officer. The only way they can win is to steal the election. The second way we're going to prevent them from stealing it, because already we have no election observers yet. 16 days to go. Election observers normally come 3 months before an election to see the process, to cut the ballots, to check the returning officers, to hear the meetings, to see how it's being divided, to find out where the polling stations are, what the process is, to check the ink, to check everything. They normally come 3 months before. We are 16 days away, not an observer. Why is that? because the PNM plans to steal the election from you. They plan to steal the voice of God. The PNM is evil, devilish obia. Who would want to thief the voice of God? The voice of God should be shared and should be screamed from the mountaintops. And on April 28th, the voice of God will overcome the evil of the PNM as Kamala Persad-Bissessar and the UNC win. But it takes each and every one of you, because they've gerrymandered the boundaries since 1962, when Dr. Williams lied to Capildeo at Marlborough House, telling him that when we return home, we will redo the boundaries to make sure it's fair and representative. What has taken place in the next 63 years, it has gotten worse. When you see a local government election, the entire map is yellow and only little splotches of red. But they tell you, hey, a tie, you know something wrong, and we're living in a madhouse. When the UNC in a local government election can get 190,000 votes and the PNM 130,000, they say that equal. I don't know, but that sounds mad. We have to correct our course. We have to take our country from out of the madhouse and put it back to merit, to discipline, to those respecting hard work. Those who deserve a contract, get a contract. Those who deserve a job and have worked hard, get the job. We have to stop this PNM madness. It takes all of us. You don't have to like my bullet. You don't have to find I sweat too much. That had nothing to do with politics. My daughter had to love me. She had to love her daddy. Daddy had to protect her, and so on. Y'all don't have to love me. I don't have to love y'all. But we have to respect one another, work together, and understand that this country that all of us love unite us, and we must give this country what it deserves. It deserves a government of intellect, a government of performance, a government of merit, a government of brain, a government of creativity, a government of heart, a government of soul. A leader always surrounds himself or herself with people similar to them. So when you see Kamala Persad-Bissessar, you analyze her. She came from poverty to rise to be some of the highest offices. First female attorney general, deservedly, after winning and topping her class in law, attorney general. First woman to lead a political party, beating one of the greatest politicians of all time, Bastio Bande. She didn't take it from him. She didn't gerrymander. She took him on in an election and she won. She then became the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and performed incredibly well. You could see, you could feel it. You could feel it in your pocket, feel it in the grocery, in the pharmacy. You felt it when you went to the gas station. You felt it when your children sat down in new schools and had textbook and laptop. You felt it in sport. You felt it in culture. You felt it in safety and security. You felt it in job creation. You felt it because it was real. For the last 9.5 years, all you felt is pain, sufferation. Your pocket is empty. You have a man that's so daft. He is coming to tell you he went in the grocery for the first time last week, and all the prices gone up. He's, oh, good, all the prices gone up. Somebody had to write that for him, because he ain't know what 85 gram of curry powder look like. He ain't know what 5 pound of onions look like. He ain't know nothing about that. Somebody write that for him, and he's so dotage, he read it out because he can't determine, boy, that don't really suit me. So on April 28th, I ask you, I beseech you, I beg you, respectfully, for your vote. I ask you to vote for the United National Congress, because we have a leader who cares. We have a leader with a brilliant mind. We have a leader who has assembled a team of like-minded, like-hearted people who are passionate and who want to serve you. We have a leader who will ensure that arrogance will not prevail, that love and respect will prevail, that a minister of finance will not take away your finances, take away your subsidy, tax you and laugh at you. That will never happen under Kamla Prasad Bisesa. So I call upon everybody across Trinidad and Tobago, take out your voting finger and riot, riot, riot on April 28th, because when the UNC wins, everybody wins. Thank you. Good
When
night.
UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins.
Yes, my brothers and sisters, that was Anil Roberts. Anil Roberts have a way of irritating the PNM demons. And I'm telling you this because I am getting a little blow by blow. That party have a meeting in the Quasi tonight. That is the meeting that I tell earlier, 1,300 people watching, while 4,700 people watching our meeting. Well, we talk about a meeting. The meeting scanty. And they start to talk about Anil Roberts. They calling up his name. They calling up my name. And I want to tell all you, the PNM will continue to attack the UNC. They continue to blame the opposition because they have no plans, they have no policies, and they have no ways to improve Trinidad and Tobago. When they come to you with your promises, they're promising all kind of things these days. Ask them, why didn't you do it in the last 10 years? What you didn't do in 10 years, you think they're going to do it in 16 days? The PNM come in to tell you they're going to build house. 10 years they didn't build house. You think you getting any house before April 28th? You think you're getting any house before April 28th? They abandoned all our schools. For 10 years, grass growing up, vines, rats, rodents. And they tell you they come to improve schools. You think they're going to do that in the next 16 days? Murders going up, blood flowing in our streets, crime, home invasions. Them now have a plan. Stuart Young, who was the minister in the Ministry of Everything, including national security, them have a plan. You think the PNM going to reduce crime in the next 16 days? My brothers, all you know, when you go to the hospitals, people sleeping on the floor. They have long lists for surgery. People have to get tests, heart tests, and they have to wait 2-3 years. If you wait on this PNM government to live, you're dead. And you tell me you believe that they will fix that in the next 16 days? The answer is no. So my brothers and sisters, I have been asked to specially mention there's a new polling division in Arima. Let us hear it for the people from the Valencia end who are here tonight. There's a team from Makoya in St. Augustine who are on the boundary of Tunapuna. Let us hear it for Makoya tonight. Let us hear it for our brothers and sisters in the Congress of the People. Let us hear it for the entire team in Frontier from the PEP. Dabadi O'Mara, let me hear you. Well, always Malabar Mausika now, right? Malabar Mausika, let me hear you. Arima, let me hear you. St. Augustine, let me hear you. My brothers and sisters, you have been a wonderful audience to our thousands who are viewing on the UNC YouTube channel, including the PNM Macos. We say to you a special good night and thank you for viewing. The United National Congress will form the next government. Kamla Prasad Bisesa will be the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Reach home safely, brothers and sisters. Thank you. When the UNC wins, everybody wins.
Everybody! When UNC win, everybody win.
Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace, vote for love, vote for hope, vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can restore hope, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who lead with love, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Vote for peace, vote for love, vote for hope, vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want